All right, we begin today the third and final installment of the Great Pumpkin Fest setup videos. We're going to start on the stage. First of all, so we'll have two spotlights here. There's a cord that goes underneath there, underneath the hay bales, two over here, where there's a splitter, and two more spotlights, and a cord that goes underneath the hay bales and into the tents right here in the corner. There's also another plug here that plugs into for the band. There's also another plug over here for the band, and that goes over here to that circuit breaker. This is the stage area. Let's see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 picnic tables. A couple of barricades. You can see over here the Milwaukee Pretzel Company was new this year, and that's where they parked. Probably should have parked closer to the fire hydrant, but that's okay. We had mini donuts and a beer truck here. I should also point out that there are two spotlights in this tree over here, and we have an electrical drop that goes to the stop sign and down, and that of course powered the mini donut guys and anyone else who needed it. We have another electrical drop and another spotlight in this tree over here. Again, here's the tent. The tent is positioned off of this tree, and you can see there's a spotlight in the tree and another electrical drop that goes over here, down onto this tree and into the ground. All right, so next we have, we'll just walk around the outside. We've got each bleacher has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tables supporting it. And here's a pylon of 3. And then kind of a gap, and this was kind of an odd place. We put a large pumpkin back here that didn't make a lot of sense because nobody could really see it. Here is our banners, which got a little beaten up because of the wind. And actually, we really do want to get the rope lights all the way out to this corner. We keep forgetting to get that done and move it out to the corner. And we'll just keep walking around the outside. Here is a set of 6 picnic tables. And we've got 2 sets of scaffolding, and Lee is hard at work at his final item. You can also see we've got hay bales scattered all over the place, and posts with the corn stalks. And the way these are really installed with the rope lights is the rope light is just kind of wedged in here. Some of them are zip tied, but the rope lights go on last. It's pretty easy. Here's another bleacher with looks like 6 picnic tables, so we lost another picnic table there. You only need 5 to support bleachers. We got the signs up here and there. It's actually, I think it's a good idea to have a few of these signs up. We have a whole bunch of them, but it's good to have just 2 or 3 or 4, just so we have them out and people know they're really not supposed to be there, even though they're not reading it. All right, here's another couple of scaffolding units with planks. To note that each one of these scaffolding units has 4 boards, and the boards are 10 feet long. All right, so now we'll keep going. Here we've got another set of 6 picnic tables, and we're around the corner. I'm gonna slide over here to the north picnic area, where we have another set of corn stalks and rope lights, a set of 3 picnic tables. This is powered with Christmas lights, and it's powered by this electrical drop that comes from this tree. We have 2 scaffolding units, and yesterday I put these 3 picnic tables out so that we had more places to put pumpkins. But let's go back to here where the power comes from. The power comes from this tree, and there's a line that goes all the way over to, you can maybe make out a couple of spotlights, goes down the tree and into Pandals. But that brings another point here, that the Pandals tent is probably put a few feet off too far to the south. As you can see, this cord for the electrical box is really tight, and that's because the electrical box is right here. So it probably makes some sense next year and from then on to make sure that Pandal's tent butts up against this tree and perhaps that tree over there. All right, so this is Pandal's. Probably can circle around the front. Additionally, the electric cables and the hoses go through this ramp structure. We got 2 porta potties. One is handicapped, one is not, and there's a hand washing station. And I'll just pan this way so you can see what we're doing. Pandals is over here. And they have a tent, that there are canopies that they put on top. I'm not going to spend a lot of time inside panels, but they have 1, 2, 3, 4 tables across. They got a bunch of other tables. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tables that they need. In the corners, of course, is 2 circuit boxes. All right, we'll keep walking a little bit here, back to the stage. Walking around to the stage, and this is how that looks. You also see that there's a witch up in the corner. We were talking about the power drop from the spotlights. Goes through that line there with the witch. There's a couple of spotlights up here as well that are illuminating the stage. There's one of them, and that just goes down here. You can see the power line is wrapped around that tree, comes down, goes into this corner here, and into the tent. All right, we're back at the power area. This is the fountain in the background here. This is where we hook up. Well, they have 2 massive cords that are going to circuit boxes. And this year, instead of plugging in a electrical cord that goes all the way to panels, they plugged it into this box, which was always on. And so this cord ran all the way down to the front where the sign is. It was okay, it worked out all right. The lights are on all the time, and that's okay. But let's just walk through this area here, where we have a lot of pumpkins. Looks like some of them got smashed, not sure why. But we'll just walk through here to the pumpkin area.
Good job, Dad.
Pumpkin area. This is where we put the letters. There you go, the Whitefish Bay Great Pumpkin Festival. And a couple of skeletons. So the electrical box comes from that in the foreground all the way. You can see the wire in the garden here, all the way over here. Skeleton guy. And here we are at the fence. This is where that electrical cord terminates, and we've got 3 or 4 plugs plugged in here. There's really no wrong way to do any of this. This is just how we MacGyvered it around. And you can see there's one floodlight here and another floodlight that's down and should be pointing at our wonderful Whitefish Bay sign. Just this is how far away the pole is from the edge. That we have some carpet scraps. The carpet scraps came from the pumpkin grower. And it does real well to hide that we have an electrical cord that goes all the way across here. Powers this. There's a tap here. And then a couple of cords that snake through the garden. And they're going to power, not this guy, he's pretty hungry. They're going to split off right here. Here's a spotlight that's been trampled. Excellent for our little display. And then you can see there's the orange cable back there. It comes all the way across, and across again. We've got another carpet scrap. It's going to go underneath here, over to this one pole. This is where the what are these lights called? These LED strings start. Here's where the pole is for that. It goes up, across, and down over there, and then it terminates. So there's no electricity after that. Additionally, so here's another junction box over here that just splits off a few more cords. They go to 2 spotlights right here that are pointing at our other display. We'll just show some of this display, which is awesome. And another electrical cord goes underneath this carpeting over here to a splitter. These 2 ghosts are lit. You can't really see it because it's light out. And we did put a little red light back there. And that's the end of the fountain area electric. It's not very sophisticated. It is what it is. It looks great back here, but there's not a lot of fancy electrical work. Right, so we're walking south. There's the library and the 3 picnic tables, and just the back of, you can see the rope lights and the back of a couple of scaffolding units. Here's panels again. Here is these 3. So the reason that I put these 3 picnic tables in a row is that if you put 3 picnic tables in a row, you can put down 80 pumpkins. If you put 3 picnic tables in a tripod, you can only put about 48. So we really needed the space to be able to plug in pumpkins, and tonight these will all be filled. This is kind of the courtyard where we have some of the cutouts just scattered around, and that is the end of the outside. All right, now we're inside the pumpkin patch area. This is the south corner of the tent. We have 3 cords coming down from inside the tent. It goes all the way across from the circuit box. 3 cords, zip tied, down. And then of course the first stop it makes is at this bleacher section. You can see we're splitting it off a couple of times to turn on a few other strings of lights. Again, here's the bleachers. They're supported by 5 picnic tables. 5. It's close. If they're arranged perfectly, it'll be 5. And we need all the picnic tables we can get. So here's the back of that tripod. We run cables as much as we can to separate the load. This one here will go to the banners. There is a dawn to dusk tap here that will run, I don't know if you can see that, a 1 spotlight and 2 3 spotlights. Those spotlights are LED and they can run cost effectively. All right, so now we turn to this. This cord here is untapped from, so this makes a straight run from the circuit box. You need to really, there probably should be 4 circuits out here. Right now we have 3, and 2 of them have 2,000 watts on them, which is probably the max they can handle. So it's probably good to have it well balanced with 4 circuits. This year worked with 3. It's probably better to have 4, and it just means a couple extra extension cords. So here's a 6 set, the back of 2 scaffolding units, and here again is some bleachers with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again, you can support bleachers with just 5 picnic tables. It's better to do it with 5 because then we can use the picnic tables for other things. We keep going around the back. This is probably where that circuit ends. So from here all the way around is just one big long circuit. And then I guess we could start this other direction. There's 2 more circuits here, 2? 1, I think just 1, that will come out of that corner. You can see the orange cable goes here and it splits off right here. We have another bleacher that again has 6 and probably should have 5 picnic tables supportive. And then finally 2 scaffolding units and another 6 picnic tables. And this is, I think, where that circuit ends. I do believe it has 2,000 watts on it, which again is probably too much, but it worked. I know that when you add another circuit, the lights get brighter because the extension cords can't handle, I think my guess is that they max out at 2,000 watts. Finally, we have this LED string. What I did here is I just took one of these DPW poles and I zip tied it to the bleacher, which is not particularly safe, but it works just great. And then I double backed. The LED string is a little bit too long, so I just went from the tent all the way to the edge here, and then I just zip tied it up so there's some extra lighting here. This pole is basically between, it's planted in the earth and it's between the tent and the bleachers. We did have a problem this year where the farmer dropped off the pumpkins in the wrong place, and then we kind of unloaded them, unfortunately, underneath these lights. I've only moved these tables now, but it's really important to make sure that the pumpkin patch is to the south of these lights because so many people are out here carving every night. This should be the pumpkin patch area. As you can see, this is Sunday night. We only have, I don't know, about 20 more pumpkins to go. And that is probably the end of this. Right now there are 5 tables out here. There could be 8. There could be 10 tables out here. On Friday and Saturday, the place is absolutely jammed. And the more tables we can have out here, the less chaotic the tent will be. And really, there's tables inside the tent that are underutilized. Here, you could probably get between 6 and 10 people at each table. Inside, some of those tables, there's only 2 people on a table. So the more tables we can get out here, the more light we can get out here. If we got good weather, you can really help people out carve pumpkins. The last little piece here is, I guess, this hand washing station and the hose. There's our hose. Got to make sure there's always a garbage can near the hand washing station because people will take the paper towels and throw them on the ground if there's nowhere to put them. This is the hand washing station we got. It's actually a slightly different model than we used to get, but it works pretty well. Oh. And what I've been doing is I've been heating the water. There's a little clasp here that's easy to just open up, and this clam opens up like so. And you can see that here's the wastewater in here, but here's the good water. And that is, they just fill that up from the spigot. And as you can see, I'm going to pull out, this is the heater element. And I just dump this in. It does take several hours for it to heat up this water. There's about 20 gallons in here. And so I'll turn this on at like 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and it will be lukewarm at 6 o'clock, but by 9 o'clock it'll be heated up. It just terminates in a regular plug. We plug it in and let it cook for the night. But you got to, of course, make sure that you remove this when they service it, because this is probably very unauthorized. And they service it on Friday and Saturday, and we got to make sure that it's not there, because I don't know, they probably would take it. All right, we are now in the tent. Lee is working away on these last few pumpkins. First, I think we should just show the setup of the tables. We've got 4 tables in the middle. They're kind of separated so people can get on all the ends. That's 4. Over there we got 5, 6, and then the spooky guy. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So there are 14 tables in here, but some of these are underutilized. This one here, I mean, maybe you can get 2 people carving. If this was outside, you could probably get 6 people carving on the ends and on both sides. So that might be a good idea. This year, let's turn our attention to the floors. We got these floorboards from Bliffert Lumber. They donated them like 4 years ago, and what we did is we would screw them down with these plates. I bought a bunch more plates this year because the boards were super warped, and unfortunately they put them, when the DPW installed them, they put them up in a concave manner, and well, I don't know if it's concave or not, but they really should be in a manner that the hump is in the middle. Because if you put the pump in the middle, then people will stand on them and it'll flatten out. But I bought a whole bunch of these floor plates and screwed them in so that the trip hazards were minimized. All right, so let's go to our spooky guy here. And here's one circuit. I don't know really what I'm really showing you. Typically we would have one circuit on the far left that goes to the banners and just stays on all night. And then the other 3, usually I go left to right. Like the leftmost one goes out to the banners and the rightmost one goes to the stage. You have to balance them all out so that balance the ones that go out to the Christmas lights. This is the other circuit box, which again is kind of jury rigged because we needed some extra stuff. But again, the far left one is closest to the stage, and that's going to the stage. The far right one is usually a DPW uses that one. That goes out to the spotlights, and this other one here goes to the LED lights that are stringing in the pumpkin patch, which I leave on all night too, because why not? They're kind of a white security light. You can see that there are rope lights. Here's the beginning of the rope lights that go around the pumpkin patch. And actually this one here is, you can't really see it, but this begins the rope lights that go around the tent. So that it'll go around the tent on the outside. Finally, maybe not finally, but we have these orange and purple lights that start here, and they just go up to any place in the top of the tent where we can hook them, and then they just drape over the bars. They continue on, they go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. One other thing that was complained about this year was these lights here are from the DPW. I think this one is regular, but the other 4 are LED, and they don't put out quite as much light as the old ones did. So there were some complaints that it was a little dark in here. It was okay. I think if you wanted to solve that problem, you'd need to maybe replace these LEDs with something that's brighter. I don't really have a great idea as to how to make it brighter in here, but it did okay. We were fine. Finally, I guess I'd draw some attention to some of the decor things that are hanging from the pipes, the little paper deals, and of course, the secret bat. Let's see if I can make the bat move. Oh, there goes the bat. I don't know how many people were scared by that this year. Oh, Lee is scared. What else? What else can I show? I mean, we have a variety of bins, which we probably should buy some new bins today so that we can hide some more things. This table here was probably the beer tent table. That's good to have. And I think that's it, Lee.